Don't stop.
Hi, thanks for joining me on the Everything and Anything and a Big A podcast. I am Zach Randalls-Friedman, the host of this show. If my show this week was not gay enough for you, I am bringing you my next installment of The Gay Bit. So today's episode is going to be a little messy, a little honest, and a little you might text your friend after this and say, is he talking about us? Because today we're talking about something that exists in the LGBTQ plus community that we don't love to admit. But we all see it, we all experience it, and if we're being really honest, we all participated in it at some level. And that is the cliques, the categories, the silent rules about who belongs where and who doesn't. Because here's the thing, we talk a lot about wanting acceptance outside the world, and we absolutely should, but today we're turning the mirror around because sometimes the judgment isn't coming from outside the community, it's coming right here from the inside of the community. And listen, I say this all with love because I am part of it too. And I thought through these things before I decided to write it down and to talk about it. I have judged people and I still do. I put people in boxes. I'm still doing that today. So this is not me sitting on a throne judging everyone else. This is me sitting right next to you and going, okay, we need to talk about this. First, let's start with the categories because being gay isn't just being gay anymore. It is not, and we all know that. It's like we've turned ourselves into a full-blown classification system. You've got twinks, you've got bears, you've got cubs, you've got otters, jocks, daddies, muscle daddies, masculine guys, feminine guys, straight acting somehow, but still here gay guys. And honestly, it's giving like National Geographic Gay Edition. Like if David Attenborough narrated Grindr. Here we see the twink in his natural habitat, surviving on iced coffee and validation. And listen, I'm not against labels, but they can be fun. They can help people find their community. And they can help people feel like, oh, there are people here like me. We all need to find the people that are like us and that understand us. And that really does matter, especially in today's world. But something along the way, the labels stopped being about connection and started being about limitation. It went from this is who I am to this is who I will engage with. And that's where things get weird because suddenly it's not about community anymore. It's about curation. It's like we're all walking around casting our own reality show. This is my type. These are my people. Everyone else, they're not for me. And again, preferences are normal, but we're a little too rigid about it sometimes. There are these boxes that we are checking and keeping people in. That's where we start losing each other. Let's talk about something I'm calling it fem-on-fem crime. So let's get into it because it's a little uncomfortable, but fem guys judging other fem guys because it happens all the time. It's kind of subtle sometimes, and it's not always outright mean, but it's little comments. Ooh, he's a bit much, or he's doing a lot, and that's not really my vibe. And sometimes I'm like, okay, but does that actually mean that you don't want to be friends with them? Are you actually being mean? Because if we're being real, a lot of that is coded language for he's too feminine for what I'm comfortable with. And the wild part is that judgment isn't always coming from straight people. It's coming from us. It's coming from within the community. And I've caught myself doing it too. And when I see someone who is fully unapologetically themselves, loud, expressive, dramatic, fabulous, there's a split second my brain goes, ooh, wow, they're a lot. And then I have to check myself because why is it a lot? Who decided what the acceptable level of femininity is? Is there a committee that I missed, or did I miss that memo? And then I think a lot goes back on how we were raised because so many of us grew up hearing, don't be too gay, don't draw too much attention to yourself, tone it down a little bit. So when we learn to manage ourselves, to edit ourselves, to shrink certain parts of who we are, and then we see someone who didn't do that, we are totally judging them. Who is just out there living, shining, and taking up space, it can make us uncomfortable. So instead of addressing that, we have all decided to judge it. We distance ourselves from it. We say, that's not me. But here's the truth. Every time we do that, we're reinforcing the exact same shame we're trying to escape in the first place. We've all been there. I have gone out with my friends recently, and there's been a guy that was walking to the bathroom, and he came back, and I give my friends a look, and they give me a look, and I'm like, yep. And we're thinking the same thing. He was too swishy. We've all been there. And we'll be right back. Okay, and now back to the show. Now let's talk about the apps, because this is where humanity is completely dying, is in these apps. I personally do not have any of the apps on my phone, but I love stealing my friends' phones. And my line to my friends, which they all know it now, is, hey, can I borrow your phone? I got to call my mom. Her cat died. And my phone battery's dead. And it used to work at first, and now everybody has caught on, because when I took their phone, I wasn't really calling my mom, obviously, because her cat didn't really die. What I'm doing is I'm going to their Grindr app, and I'm scrolling through, and I'm looking, and I'm making messages to people. And sometimes I have friends that actually give me their phone and let me do it. And I love going into somebody's Grindr account and like sending messages that are really body to them. And it's fun because I like to see the reaction. Because if you really want to see the dynamics of a gay community on full display, all you have to do is open Grindr. You take a deep breath, and then you just kind of scroll. Because what you basically see is a live action sociology experiment. This is the profiles that you'll see. Masculine only, no femmes, no fats, no Asians, no drama, which is always should be a big red flag for you because you're full of drama. And I always think to myself, are we actually looking for you a date, or are you writing a terms and conditions agreement? Because when did attraction turn into a list of exclusions? And you can have a preference. That is so normal. You're allowed to like what you like. But here's the difference. I'm usually drawn to this, and I'm publicly declaring who is not worthy of my attention. Because that second one feels a little dehumanizing. And the irony is, every single one of us has been on the receiving end of that at some point. We've all seen something out there that makes us go, oh, I guess I'm not wanted here. Or that feeling that you get, that sting, it really sticks with you. So it always is interesting how quickly we turn around and do the same thing to someone else. Now let's talk about bears and twinks. And there's this imaginary war, which I don't think it's as bad as it used to be, but it's still there. Bears and twinks, because for some reason we've turned this into a whole thing. It's like two different social circles that occasionally acknowledge each other from across the room. We've got the bears, who are warm, hairy, cozy, giving, I'll cook for you and I will emotionally devastate you. And then you've got the twinks, smooth, glowing, somehow always 23, powered entirely by iced coffees and chaos. I'm not saying that's me, but maybe it is. And for some reason, there is this unspoken idea that these groups don't mix, that it's illegal, that there's a law somewhere. Bears shall not date twinks. Twinks shall not approach bears, punishable by bad side eye. And I'm like, who made that rule? Because last time I checked, attraction is not a team sport. There's no referee, there's no scoreboard. We act like it is there and it really doesn't exist. We act like that if you step outside your type, you're doing something wrong. And that's where it gets limiting, because these types are service level. They're aesthetics, and they don't tell you if somebody is kind, which we all need to be a little more kind, if they're funny, if someone is emotionally available, again, very rare, if someone is going to text you back. We put so much weight on them, and we miss out on people, real people. I have to tell you a story about when me and my friend Tony and my husband, Andrew, went to Provincetown one year, and every week in Provincetown, there's a different theme week. One year, we accidentally went to Provincetown during Bear Week. And when we got to our hotel or our bed and breakfast or Airbnb, whatever it was, we found out that it was Bear Week. And we were so disappointed because me or my husband are not attracted to bears. Obviously, he's not attracted to bears because I'm the farthest from a bear. And my friend Tony is not really attracted to bears either. And we thought this is going to be a bunch of hairy guys that are going to be out like doing gross things and smelling their armpits or whatever. And I have to say, it was the best week we've ever had in Provincetown. They were so nice. They were so kind. They were so welcoming. And we actually went back to a Bear Week several years later because we had such a great time. And it was still just as fun. So I personally love bears. Let's have another conversation. The masculine hierarchy. without talking about the obsession with masculinity in the gay community. But why is masculinity treated like it's the ultimate prize? It's like the VIP lounge of being gay. Straight acting, low key, not to the scene. So first of all, if you are on a gay app or you're going to Provincetown, you are in the gay scene. You are part of it. Because welcome, we have been accepting you. Second, there is nothing wrong with being masculine, just like there's nothing wrong with being feminine. The issue is not that trait. The value we assign to it is what the issue is. Because when masculine people are seen as better, everything else becomes less than, and suddenly we have recreated a hierarchy inside a community that already knows what it feels like to be judged by everybody. So what do we do now? And we'll be right back. Okay, now back to the show. What do we do now with all this? Because again, I'm not saying we all need to be suddenly attracted to everyone. That's not realistic. I have my type, you have your type. You should have those types, but you should open your eyes a little bit. Open your hearts a little bit. Because what if we just softened a little bit? What if we stepped without leading with exclusion? We question our assumptions. We let people exist without commentary. That's very hard for even me, for everyone. What if we got curious instead of critical? What if instead of immediately putting someone into a category, we just let them be that person? Because at the end of the day, what we all want is to be seen, to be accepted, and to not feel like we have edited ourselves to be worthy of connection. And here is the truth. We have the power to give that to each other. We can all be so much more kinder to each other. You can still be masculine, you can still be feminine, you can still be a bear, you can still be a twink, you can still be whatever you want to be. But maybe just open up yourself a little bit more to meeting different people. The gay community is always going to have cliques, and yeah, we're all in one. And honestly, that's okay. But maybe the goal isn't to stay in that lane forever. Maybe the goal is to cross the room, start a conversation, challenge your own thinking, because the community we talk about wanting is inclusive, is supportive, and connected. And that doesn't just happen. We all have to build it. Or we have to break what we're doing. And that's today's episode. If you feel like I called you out, good. That means you're paying attention. If you felt seen, even better. I'm with you. And if you're somewhere in the middle, then just welcome, because you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Again, I have been going out on Thursday nights with friends, having some drinks. It's going back into the bar scene a little bit. And I have been talking with all types of people. Bears, twinks, femme, masculine, everything. I've talked to them all. And I've made a lot of great friends, and I've made some really good, deep connections. So give it a try next time you're out with your friends. You can still be a sassy little gay and talk about somebody as they walk by and they're a little too swishy. Sure, do it. But maybe be a little bit more kinder to people to their face. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it and leave a comment. And I'll be back next Friday with another gay bit. Thanks for listening.